meal did you have with somebody you loved that you absolutely hated? What meal did you have with somebody you loved that you absolutely hated? And I think the perfect person for this question is, of course, Kuan! Yes!
In fact, very recently, I invited my parents over to my place and with my fiance Alice to have dinner. And I had the brilliant idea of trying to prepare 脆皮猪肉. Right? It's very difficult. So what it is, it's a crispy, deep-fried pork skin, pork belly, right? And on YouTube, it looked great. So on YouTube, all you had to do was you would marinate the pork belly, and you would cut a few scores on top of the pork skin. In theory, after you deep fry it, the pork skin will start to pop with these little bubbles on top, and that's what makes it crispy, right? However, on the actual cooking day, I made two mistakes. First mistake is when I was scoring the pork skin, I didn't cut enough, I didn't cut deep enough into the skin, right? So that means the heat it's harder for the heat to get into the pork. And the second mistake that I made was I didn't have enough oil to deep fry the thing. So what ended up happening was I had this big piece of pork and it was marinated on the bottom with soy sauce and soybeans. I threw it into the deep fryer and only the bottom was cooked. And then the skin part was raw. And so, like, I was super nervous, I didn't know what to do. I tried to flip the entire thing over, and then the oil started to split all over the counter. And then the soy sauce, the soybeans, the marinade was all burnt on the bottom, and then the skin part was still raw. So when I finally pulled it out of the deep fryer, I was like, man, this does not look like what it looked like on YouTube, right? And I sliced into it, and then the pork skin was cold. It was a huge chunk of pork. And my parents had been waiting for an hour for me to figure this out. And I embarrassed myself in front of Alice because her dad, who was a professional chef, told us, oh, 这个很简单, it's so easy, you'll figure it out, don't worry about it. So that was the worst cooking experience I've ever had with Alice over and my parents over. Back to the